Mental Health Awareness Month, and health experts say caring for your mental well-being is just as important as your physical health. And it's actually becoming more of a focus during primary care visits. So here to talk about it is Lindsey Maloney. She is a nurse practitioner and the owner of Nutmeg Primary Care. So great to have you here. You're also part of the SOAN Health Network, so you're the perfect person to talk to about this. And this is really about identifying concerns so that people can get the help they need early, right?
Absolutely. So mental health, we've really come a long way in terms of helping to break down that stigma. And I think that in particular, the primary care practice office is a very safe and nurturing place for individuals to be able to express how they're really feeling inside. And it's very important for people to understand that mental health is just as important as your physical health. Having a healthy mind and soul is really just as important as having a healthy body, and is actually necessary to actually achieve full wellness and having just general well-being.
Just tapping into your full potential. I'm sure some people, this might come easier to some than others. Perhaps men in particular might have a harder time opening up, I imagine. Some perceive it as weakness and they have trouble trusting somebody to open up. What would you say people who are hesitant about talking with a stranger about what they're going through?
That's a really great question. And I think that for individuals in their primary care practice, hopefully they're not speaking with a stranger, someone who they have this really intimate and professional relationship that often goes on for decades. However, I would like to point out that addressing any kind of emotional or mental health concerns that you might have really should just come and flow in the conversation as naturally as discussing something like blood pressure or diabetes.
Really just about getting rid of that stigma and make it part of the norm, part of our culture, right?
Absolutely.
And a big part about opening up is building that trust with your primary care provider. How is that trust established, and does this go back to the importance of keeping a provider for years and years?
Something we've actually done to help to spark that conversation for some individuals who it might be harder to say out loud is that we will screen for depression and any issues with mental health at least once a year at your annual physical.
Wow.
And that's intentional. It's to help to start that conversation and maybe pull out some information that's easier to circle on a piece of paper than it is to actually say out loud. And it opens that door so that we are able to focus and hone in on what's really going on there. And it's really, we view it just as doing a blood pressure screening for hypertension. Yeah. We are now doing those screenings for depression and mental health as well.
And get to the root cause, the source of the issue before potentially too late, and you get them the help they need, point them to counseling or whatever other steps, right?
Absolutely, whatever fits in with them. It's usually an ongoing conversation, especially if this is their first experience feeling something like this themselves. So it's often an ongoing conversation. And so you never have to leave the office with a definite decision. I'm doing something about it, I'm not doing something about it. But even just opening up the lines of communication can just be an important first step.
So speaking of first steps, if someone's watching this, they have some challenges, they don't know how to get started, what is the advice to them?
I would say if you do have a primary care provider, that is the best place to start. If you do not have a primary care provider, and I understand it is difficult to find one, but you'd like to look for somebody to help to address your mental health. Psychology Today is a very good resource. Okay. And then of course, as a crisis, there's always 211 and 988.
All right, fantastic. And obviously these are conversations that we're having now, May Mental Health Awareness Month, but these are conversations we need to have throughout the year, right? I mean, this
Definitely.
is just the start of it.
This is just the start of it. May is a friendly reminder about how important mental health is, but I hope that this is sparking a conversation that will continue on for the rest of the year and into next year's May.
Hopefully it's being talked about at the dinner table for families throughout our state. Really appreciate you getting that conversation started for us. Lindsey Maloney, thank you very much. We'll put all this information on our website too, fox61.com. Back to you.